Hello YouTube and all who inhabit it. If you guys do not get that reference, that is a SpongeBob reference. Me and my family, we always do SpongeBob references all the time, and we just absolutely crack up over it. Anyways, my name is Brittany and welcome to my channel. I am so sorry. That is crusting up. If you guys want to see how I achieved this look right here, just keep watching. I'm gonna start this look off with the eyes, and I already have my eyes primed. I use this e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. Now you don't have to actually use an eyeshadow primer. I know people have used primers. I know people who have used concealer and then they set it with powder. So it's really just whatever you prefer. I just personally prefer an eyeshadow primer. Before I went out and bought this e.l.f., I had ran out of the Urban Decay and I was like, listen, girl on a budget. My mom had actually had that, and so I had used it one day when I was over at her house, and I was like, wow, this is pretty good to be e.l.f. because I'd never really used e.l.f. products before. It's actually pretty good. It's like only a couple of dollars, so it's a lot cheaper than Urban Decay, but I'm still probably going to go back and get the Urban Decay because that's just who I am as a person. Moving on. So for today, I'm going to do Smokey Eye. I do have brown eyes, and so I usually try to wear colors that complement my eye color. They are dark, like very dark brown. I always say I have doo-doo brown eyes because they are so dark. But I think that browns, light pinks, and purples really make your brown eyes just pop and stand out. And that's what I'm going for today. So, of course, my first video I just have to absolutely use my girl Jaclyn Hill's palette. I say my girl, but you know what? She don't even know I exist. So I'm probably going to go back and forth between the original Jaclyn Hill palette and the Ring the Alarm palette. I think all of these colors in this palette are just so beautiful and so pigmented. Okay, so now that my eyes are already primed, I'm going to start off with a transition color, and please excuse my palette. It is very dirty, but you know what? I ain't even worried about it. So I just usually just blow the fallout off and move on with my life. So anyways, I'm going to go in with this third shade right here. I do believe it's called Silk Cream. However, I threw away my little paper that had all of the names of the shades on there. So I'm just guessing. But yes, I'm going to take that third shade right there. And I'm going to start by using a fluffy brush. I am going to start off with the Morphe M441. Y'all, this song, I always listen to music whenever I get ready. The song Speechless by Dan and Shay just came on. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with it. I'm getting married in 10 months. Definitely want to have this song playing at my wedding because it is literally just one of the sweetest songs ever. Take a good bit of that Silk Cream, dust off the excess, and then I'm just going to go right here between my crease. So it's just like right here in the transition. And I do kind of just like go back and forth in windshield wiper motions with this color. And I kind of get a little sloppy with it because I'm not too worried about the shade just because it is the transition color. It does not have to be perfect. Just took a little bit more. And what I do is I start out by putting it in the crease, and then I just kind of move it up a little bit before that. I do have smaller eyeballs. I'm very upset about it, so we're not even going to sit there and talk about it. I usually try to go a little bit higher. And then I do windshield wiper motions, and then circular motions just to kind of get that all blended out there. Please excuse this monstrosity on my forehead I got going on here. It's definitely a pain right now. And anybody who watches Bachelorette, my boyfriend's gonna kill me right now, but I got him into watching it. So we do that every Monday night, and we watch Hannah, and we are so disgusted with Luke P, and I really hope he goes home. That's a side note. But anyways, on The Bachelorette last week, she was talking about how she she names her zits Marcus. I am not gonna name my zit, but I just thought that was pretty funny. So the next shade I'm gonna go in with is, so this is totally not something that you have to do. It's just something that I personally like to do because I like to build the colors, just so it makes a more blown out, more blended look. So I'm going to go in with the shade next to Silk Cream, which is this one right here. Like I said, I threw away the form of what each name of the shades were. So I don't know what it is. I'm just saying the shade beside Silk Cream. And I'm just going to take that same that was not the brush I was using. M441 by Morphe. I'm just take that same brush, swirl a little bit, tap off the excess, and just kind of go over what we just done. So sorry, my back itches. Is it lopsided? Okay. Okay, what was I saying? Nice and tight in my crease. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Sorry y'all, this song always makes me just want to dance, so don't mind me. Okay, so the next shade I'm going to go in with is, I like to go in a little bit darker, so I'm going to I'm going to take that same Morphe M441 brush, just because we are still just building that color up right there. My back, what is going on? I just got out of the shower, so I'm not dirty. This one I do just want to keep just a little bit lower, more like in the crease, and not take it as high up as I did this transition color. So, take some of that pukey shade, wipe, tap off the excess. I say wipe. Ow, it's a little rough. Now this color I will take some time blending out, just because I do want to keep this lower, more in the crease area, and I don't want to take it as high as I did the other shades that we were building up to this. So, does anybody ever pay attention to the facial expressions that they make whenever they're doing their makeup? Because I know I make some goofy ones. Okay, I don't know what I have done with this brush, but it is starting to it is very irritating on my skin. It's so rough. I don't know what I've done. Okay, it's just getting very painful to use this brush. I don't know what the crap happened. It might have been from when I washed it last. I don't know. So then I'm going to take the Ring the Alarm palette, and I'm going to take Mugshot right here. It's just a little bit darker than that pukey shade that we just went in with. And I hope I don't rip my eyeball off, but I'm going to take the same M443 brush that I was just complaining about being really rough, but look at me going in with it again because I have no words. I don't even know why. I'm just going to suffer through the pain. Beauty is pain, right? Beauty is pain. Tap off the accents. Now, when I go in with a shade like this that's just a little bit darker, just my personal preference is I like to go on this outer crease right here, and I like to bring the color right here a little bit on the outer crease, and then just kind of blend it upward into that crease. Now, I don't think I'm going to take it all the way into the inner corner. So I just kind of take it about halfway on the outer corner and also halfway into that crease. Sometimes I try to like take it even out just so it kind of gives like a more cat eye effect. And I do apologize if this lighting is terrible. I'm struggling. So now that we have that on both of our eyeballs, on the outer corners, what I'm going to do now is, this is an M5773 brush. Alright, so I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to take the second color that we used, which is this color in the palette right here beside the Silk Cream. And I'm just going to take a little bit on this brush, buff it out, not buff it out, tap off the excess and just kind of go over what we just done, just because it will blend out that color, and it's light enough that it won't really darken what we just done as much, so we don't have dark going all the way into the inner corner. Once we got that on there, I'm just going to take the M443 brush one more time, and I'm going to go in with, I'm going to go back in with the Ring the Alarm palette, and this shade right here, Secret. I'm going to go in with that one. I'm going to take this brush, just give it a nice little swirl in there, and I'm just going to kind of pack this in on the outer corner of the eye and into the crease area. Whenever you are blending this color out, don't be afraid to like blend it more on the lid, just because of the fact we are going to go back in on the lid and put a shimmer over that, so it's not going to show through as much if you do it on the lid. If you go a little bit further in on the inner corner, it would show on that crease area, so just try to stay away from the inner corner of the crease. Okay, so now that I got that in on the outer corner, I am going to take just a little bit more of that pukey shade right there, and I am going to use that to blend, but I am going to stick with the same M433. And I am just going to stop about halfway to my eyeball on the crease, just because I want to blend just this area out, and I don't want to drag it too far in. And again, you can just go back and forth in windshield wiper motions, stopping about halfway. And sometimes when I did notice like I was a little bit sloppy like right in this area and it wasn't blended out as much as I wanted it to be, not adding any extra product on my brush, and I do just kind of go on the inner corner and just lightly, like barely touching my skin, and blend this out just so it doesn't look as choppy, because for whatever reason. So now that I have that blended together, what I'm going to do now is just to make sure that there are no harsh distinctions between the darker color on the outer crease into the transition area into the brow bone. I'm going to take this color, Creamsicle, yes, I believe that's what that one is called. I'm going to take that color right there and just barely any product on my brush. I am using the M518 brush to do this. And the way I do this is I kind of do just get a little bit on that outer crease brown color, lightly blend that out. What I'm going to do now is I am now going to go in with my shimmers. And when you do this, you can take the product on your brush and spray it with Fix Plus, or a lot of times I will use my setting spray to spray it, because that will make the shimmer more like stick together more, and you're not going to have as much fallout when you do that. Plus it really will make your shimmer pop. And then I'm going to take this color right here, this shimmer, it's called SBN, and I'm going to put this all over the lid area. And do you guys see how much this shimmer pops just by wetting your brush? And I'm gonna kind of give it like a cut crease-esque look. And I'm gonna bring it just about, not all the way, but just about to that outer crease. And I'm just gonna do the same exact thing on the other side. And then I am just going to get a little bit more of that color to pack it in on the middle of the lid toward the outer area. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that same exact brush to take this color right here. It's right beside the SBN, and I believe it's called Obsessed. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to wet my brush. I'm going to dip it in that Obsessed color. But I am going to take this and just place this in the inner corner of the eye, and that way we can make the inner corner very bright. And then if you want to, you can go pack more of the SBN on the middle. I did take quite a bit of this Obsessed color, but hey, that's okay. And a lot of times you can just wiggle your brush too. You can take a little bit of the second color, or the first color that we went in with, which is that SBN right there, and take a little bit of it on your finger, like that. And you can just kind of pack it on just a little bit more. Oh yeah. And I'm going to go back in with that Secret shade from Ring the Alarm palette. I'm going to go back in with that, and I'm just going to blend that into that Shimmer shade. I'm going to go in with the face. I want to wait until I have my brows filled in to do like any kind of brow highlight, and I also like to do my foundation first before I go in with any kind of eyeliner. And I am going to wear false eyelashes today, so I'm going to save all that till after we are done with the face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go prime the skin. I always recommend priming the skin first. One, because like I said earlier about with the eyes, it is going to help the longevity of your foundation, and also it's going to fill in any kind of pores, fine lines, and wrinkles, and just kind of smooth everything out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this primer. It is the Professional by Benefit, and you always want to have clean hands and fingers whenever you go in and prime the skin. So for my foundation, I am going to go in with the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced, and this is the shade Light Beige. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a Sephora brush. This is the Pro Dome Stippling brush. It's number 41, and it's the Sephora brand. But I do go in with this with the stippling brush, because when I go in with the stippling brush, it really gets deep down into my pores, and it definitely gives me that all over even look. And I do just try to go along with that sharp line that we created right there. What you can do from here is, if you want to go in with a concealer, now would be the time to do it. But like I said, I personally don't, because I'm not trying to go for that full coverage look. Yes, I would like it to brighten up my under eyes, and I think that look is so pretty. But because I have freckles, I do try to watch that just a little bit. After you do that, you would do it on your under eyes. And then if you really wanted to like highlight and contour your face, you could go in and do whatever you use on your eyes. Usually they say between 1 to 2 shades shades lighter than your actual skin tone to highlight, and then to contour it's 1 to 2 shades darker than your skin tone to contour. But if you were going to highlight, you would do it like under your eyes right here. You can do a little bit on your chin, a little right here on the Cupid's bow, but I rarely ever do the Cupid's bow. And you want to go right in the middle of your nose, and you can make like a little cross, a little flower, whatever, just in the center of your forehead. If you do go into highlight, then you would set your under eyes just to prevent creasing. But like I said, not doing that today. Now I am going to go set my face with powder, the Airspun Loose Face powder. And I am going in with translucent extra coverage. I do go in with my It Cosmetics brush, and this is the Unstoppable Powder Brush. I'm going to take a little swirly of that on my brush. Swirl it in there, tap it a little bit because I don't want to be like too matte. And I'm going to take the rest of that I tapped off to go on my nose. Now, some people do go in with a wet beauty blender to put on their powder and to set their face, which that is also a good idea as well. I just use my brush. And because I do not highlight my eyes, what I do is I do try to take like this lighter powder and just kind of like press a lot more under my eyes to brighten it up that way without highlighting it. And I do also do the same thing where I do pat the center of my forehead. So I do go a little bit heavier right there just so it will be lighter. So now that I do have my face set with powder, I am going to go in with a bronzer now. I am going to go in with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. A very pretty bronzer for fair skin is the Milk Chocolate Soleil by Too Faced. When I had gone to get this bronzer, they did not have the milk chocolate. They were completely out at Ulta. So I just went in and got the chocolate. I was like, surely it's not going to make that big of a difference. And I haven't tried the milk chocolate, so I don't really know what it would look like. But the chocolate bronzer is just as pretty, I think. I'm going to go in with the Morphe? The Morphe R2 brush. It's good for bronzing. Oops. We're good, Brittany. We're good. Alright, I'm just going to kind of take my brush and just kind of do another swirly swirl. Tap off the excess. And I do just kind of go on the bigger portion of my forehead and try to keep the center lighter. And I do have a really big forehead. I have a 5 head and it's just quite embarrassing, but it's just because I got a lot of knowledge up there, you know what I'm saying? And then I do go along my hairline though. Whenever I am bronzing, I just want mainly the center of the forehead to kind of give that highlight and contour look. So now that I got my bronzer on, I am going to go in and fill in my eyebrows. What I'm going to use is I'm going to use the original Naked palette and take the color Buck right here. And I'm going to take an angled brush, which again, this is one of those bamboo generic ones that I'm pretty sure I got at Ulta. But so I'm going to go do this and I'll be right back. Hello. I did go ahead and fill in my brows with that Buck color from the original Naked palette. The only thing that kind of makes me a little bit iffy on using an eyeshadow, even though it does get the job done, it does fill in your eyebrows, the only thing I don't necessarily really like about it is that I feel like it does make your eyebrows like a little bit more bold and less natural. I feel like it makes my eyebrows just look, which I have thicker eyebrows anyways, but when I do go in with an eyeshadow as opposed to like an eyebrow pencil or eyebrow gel or anything like that, I do feel like it makes them more bolder and I look like I have caterpillars sitting on my face. I do not have, wait, yes I do. Oh my gosh. Definitely did not think I had a spoolie, but I do. So what's good for the spoolie is you go in and it does just kind of blend it to make it look more natural. I am now going to move on to the blush and I'm going to use the Morphe 8C Cool Pro Blush Palette. The other day I mixed 2 of the shades together that are in this palette and it was so pretty, so that's what I'm going to do again. So I'm going to take It Girl right here and then Driven, which is this one down at the bottom. And I'm going to mix these two together. This is, again, one of those bamboo ones that I'm pretty sure I got at Ulta. Looks like it's Cala. So I'm just going to mix those. Tap off the excess. I'm gonna not necessarily put them like more. I may go a little bit on the apples of the cheeks, but not much. I am just gonna kind of follow my bronzer. I still smile to get it like going up, so I can get just a little bit on the apples of the cheeks, but not much. And I do just want that to kind of to blend in with my bronzer. I'm going to move back to the eyes so I can highlight my brow bone. Okay, sorry guys, my camera was about to die, so I just let my camera charge for just a little bit, and I went and finished straightening my hair and everything. So now back to the eyes. I am going to go in and highlight my eyes, and I'm going to go back in with the original Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to go in with this first shade right here in light. And I am going to take the brush. It is the Pro Shadow number 14. I'm going to take a little bit because these are super pigmented. And I am just going to highlight that brow bone right there. And I apologize, I went back and looked at the previous clip where I was doing my blush, and I had opened my blinds in my room, and with that plus this little LED mirror that's in front of me, I did notice that it was a little bright. So I do apologize, but this is my blush with my bronzer. Sorry you guys couldn't see that really earlier. I know I make some weird faces whenever I'm doing my makeup. I'm going to do my eyeliner, and I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Eye Studio gel liner in black. It came with a little brush, but I broke it. It's just a little nub. And I think I'm going to go in and do a wing today. I always do a wing. Just love it so much. Another thing, when I do my top eyeliner, I do not always bring it, not always, sometimes, but not always. I don't always bring it all the way down to the inner corner. I usually stop about right here, as you guys can see. Wings are so tricky because, like, I always start off with my left eye. I don't know why, but I always start off and do my left eye first, and then when I move on to my right eye, I struggle so hard because it rarely ever matches. Not bad. If you do get your eyeliner, your wing eyeliner uneven like I do all the time, another thing you can do is you can take some makeup remover and a Q-tip, and you can clean it up that way, or a makeup remover wipe. I'm going to move on to the lower lash line, and I'm going to go back with my two palettes, and I am going to take this Sephora brush. This is the Pro Taper Crease number 19, and I am going to start with, I'm going to start off with Pukey from the original Jaclyn Hill palette. Just going to get a little bit more brush and run it all the way from outer corner to inner corner. So I'm going to take this shade right here by Creamsicle. Again, I don't know what the name is, so I'm just going to take that on the same brush and go right over that. Which we are going to go back in with lower lash mascara. And so, I mean, it's going to darken it up anyways, but I don't want it too dark, if you know what I'm saying. So next, I'm going to take, again, another brush from that bamboo collection that I'm pretty sure I got at Ulta. And I'm going to take a little bit on the Mugshot and just run it tightly on that lower lash line. And I kind of stop like right here where the lashes stop growing. I don't always bring it like right there into my tear duct. I'm just going to kind of blend that back out. I'm going to go back in with this shade by Creamsicle and take that same Pro Tapered Crease brush number 19 from Sephora, and kind of go back and blend this. Last one I want to go in with, I do want to go in with that Secret, oh gosh, a Secret a little bit from the Ring the Alarm palette. And the way I'm going to do this one is I'm going to get, that is my spoolie, not my flat brush. So I'm going to get a little bit on the flat brush again, and I am just going to go about halfway with this one. I'm not going to go too far. And I'm going to go in back and forth motions. I do want to try to blend it out just a little bit. So I am going to have to blend that back out again. It's all about blending. You can just take this without any additional product. Smoke it out a little bit. Now I'm going to move on to the eyelashes. I am going to go in with my mascara. I do have the Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. And I'm going to go in and do just a little bit to prep my eyes for false lashes. I am going to go in with false lashes today. Keep your keep your mascara handy because we are going to go back in with that. Oh, okay. Or I can just throw it in my floor. No big deal. So for lashes today, I do have the Ardell Professional Natural Lashes. I am going to go ahead and apply mascara to my lower lash line.
I can't connect to your Wi-Fi network. You can find setup instructions in the help section of your Echo Look app.
Thank you, Alexa. So now that we got the false eyelashes applied, we are going to now go in with highlight. And I am going to go in with a fan brush, which is that same from that bamboo collection that I've had. And I am going to go in with Champagne Pop. And just kind of fan that onto the cheeks, which, oh, good. And sometimes I do like to go in on my nose and do just a little bit. I don't have to do much on my nose because the nose is not the main event of the show. You know what I'm saying? And you can also go in and highlight your Cupid's bow if you like to, and also do a little bit on your chin. Well, I'm going to do a little bit on my chin, I think. Now we can go in with the lipstick. So I am going to go in with this Morphe lipstick. It is a matte, and it is the shade Honey. I think it's very pretty. It's a pretty nude. Once you have applied your lipstick, I am going to go in with the Kylie Cosmetics Gloss So Cute. And also too, before you put this, put your lip gloss back in the tube. I did learn this trick as well. You always want to wipe it off first, so that way the lipstick doesn't get in the tube of the gloss and like mix up your shade. I am gonna get my setting spray. Hopefully I have enough to spray my face. Ooh. No. Well, I don't have enough to spray my face, but then you would go in and set your face while your face is wet and you are waiting on that to dry. If you wanted to give yourself a little bit more pop of highlight, now would be the time to go back in and do it while your face is still wet, and it's gonna really bring out that highlight and really make it look metallic-y and very pretty. Okay, so that does complete today's look for a daytime appropriate smoky eye for brown eyes. If you guys did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave any kind of comments, or if you have any other tips and tricks that I could use, I'm always welcome to learning more stuff as I go. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get notifications for when I upload more videos. Thank you guys for joining me today, and have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time.